Hey everyone, long time no see. It has been a minute and got some updates for you. Well, first of all, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Sage House Apothecary. And the whole intro thing, we're gonna skip that for today. But I wanted to record a video because it's been a minute, one, since I've recorded because I have been extremely busy. And it's not necessarily a great thing, because I want to have more time to do things like this, and I just haven't had the bandwidth. So I've been really thinking lately about some things, and one of which has been on my mind is letting my apothecary go, my online store, because it requires a lot of time, and I love the work that I do. I guess I'm just jumping in. I love the work that I do. I love making products for people. I love the customers that patronize me and that support me and that love the products and that have given me wonderful reviews. And I've gotten great feedback. And so I know the products are good. I know the products are high quality, but the math is just not mathing. I have had Sage House for about 4 years now, maybe five. I can never remember, but about 4 years now. And I've really been doing my best to be patient and waiting for things to explode, so to speak, and for the business to grow. And it just has not been growing the way that I had hoped. But in addition to that, I'm running my business. I'm running Sage House Apothecary while I'm working full time. And it's just a lot because I am working all the time. And honestly, you hear that saying, find something that you're passionate about and you won't work a day in your life. And it doesn't feel like I'm working. There are times when orders come in, and I have to get myself in a space of, okay, let me ground myself, get the products together. And I also want to make sure that I'm in a good space mentally, energetically, because I don't want to create products, especially Reiki charged products, when my energy is not off or not present. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of thinking about letting the business go. It has been costing me more money to keep it alive than it is to just let it go. And I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm constantly, paying and paying and paying. And so, yeah, that's one thing that's been on my mind and I've been ruminating on, and I will continue to think about it. I think I need to also think about shifting the way perhaps that I create my products. Maybe it's not one-to-one to customers, maybe it's more wholesale to stores or shops. We'll see. Um, So yeah, that's been one of the things that's been on my mind lately. And then this month, April, which is almost done, I've been doing a lot of traveling. I feel like I've been on the plane more times than normal. Um, and thankfully, I have not ended up sick, which I'm really happy about, because a couple years ago when I was really burning the candle stick by, on each end, I found myself getting sick at least every quarter, where I would be in bed for the entire weekend. And I've gotten to the point where I've been balancing and finding more time for rest, which is something that I'm learning to reclaim my rest, because I'm no good if I'm not rested, and I'm no good if I am running myself into the ground. So I am reclaiming my rest. Yeah. And I'm also wanting to get to a point too. You know what? This video may just be a rant. So if you want to bypass it, that's perfectly fine. But I need to get this out. But yeah, I'm also getting to the point now, and maybe it's because I'm getting older. Um, I am getting to the point. I also think I might stop telling my age. I don't know if I'm going through like another thing, but yeah, I think I may stop telling my age. Um, because I do feel like when you attach yourself to these societal um like buckets and you assign yourself to that thing, you become it. So I think I may stop talking about my age. Anyway, so yeah, I'm in this space now where I just want to slow down because I feel like I'm always rushing. Today I had an opportunity. I don't have to be anywhere until 1, and I have not had this in a long time. And so I have just been luxuriating in it. Woke up late. Well, that's also because I stayed out late last night. Went to go see Cat Williams in concert, which was okay. But woke up late. We took the dogs out, and then I went to the gym and I took my time. I think I took 2 hours down there, maybe longer than 2 hours. I did my workout, I did my weights, and I sat in the jacuzzi and I just sat. And I have not had that time in a long time. I mean, I did have it earlier because I did have a vacation. That's another thing. My fiance, I we celebrated his birthday earlier this month. We took a cruise, a week cruise, went to the Bahamas, Mexico. Um, and I was able to really rest then, but I'm wanting to now make sure that I'm adopting those moments of just slow and rest and taking my time. So this morning, for me to take my time with my workout, it felt so good. When I say I luxuriated in it, I luxuriated in it. And it's so, I needed it. Tomorrow, I decided I am blocking my entire calendar off. I mean, I do have my women's accountability group in the meeting in the morning, and I do have a Reiki appointment in the morning, but I don't want to leave here tomorrow at all. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to see anybody. Um, But yeah, because I'm always rushing from one place to the next, and I do work from home. I work remotely from home. I also travel for home for work. But a lot of times I'm running from one meeting to another meeting, driving to a place, heading out south, going back north, going west. And I don't want to say I'm exhausted, but I don't think I want to do that anymore. I want to take my time. I just want to, especially with the weather getting nicer and the trees starting to bloom and the leaves are coming out, which if you all know me, that is my favorite time of season. But yeah, I'm just getting to this space where I'm just like, you know what? I don't feel like rushing. I don't. And so I'm not. And I'm also, in addition to me reclaiming my time, I am also learning to set boundaries because I make myself too available to everybody. I'm too accessible. And I've started implementing some things where I am setting boundaries. For instance, um, because I do wake up early, I tend to go to bed early. So if you call me or text me after a certain period of time, you're not going to get me because I put the do not disturb on my phone. And then that also keeps me from getting distracted because if I see it, then I'm like, oh, I need to respond because I'm also like very much like that. Well, I see it, I need to take care of it. Um, but yeah, I'm also just finding myself to just wanting to shift the hustle of my life, the hustle and flow for my life. And so I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to sit down for a little bit, and start writing out some things, manifesting some things, envisioning what I want for my life. And I'm going to put it in motion. Um, so in addition to that, and all of this, I think is coming from this particular instance that happened about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, when I was traveling for work. Um, Someone sent me a message to vote for them. And I honestly didn't really think too much about it because one of my line sisters asked us, our group chat, to vote for her because she's doing this thing and she asked us to vote. So knowing that that was just a series of requests that came through on my phone when I got this through Instagram, I was like, oh, okay. And I was just like, I don't know. But I clicked on it and nothing happened. I clicked on it again and nothing happened. And I clicked on it again and nothing happened. I was like, okay, well, close my phone. Then the next day I start getting all of these like spam messages, vote for me, vote for me, vote for me. I was like, oh, okay, this is not good. And then I realized that I went back to the page where the message came, like vote for me. She said her page got hacked. And then in turn, my page got hacked. My business page on Instagram, Sage House Apothecary, got hacked. And at one point, me and the hacker were playing tug of war with my page. At one moment, I had access to it. I would change the password, and then he took it back. He would change the password, and then he added a two-step authentication on my page. Then I somehow got the page back. I messaged Instagram. I emailed Instagram. I went to the support. I went to help. I did all of the steps. In some cases, I even did the little phone, do the selfie, send it to Instagram so that they can verify that it's your page. I did that multiple times. I went through all the steps multiple times. And at this point, when all of this stuff is going down, I'm at the airport waiting for my flight to board. And I mean, my heart is racing because I have spent a lot of time, a lot of effort on the content that I posted on my page. And, it's not like the best content. Like, it's not like I hired a videographer to do the content, but it's still my content and it's still my work. And it was very upsetting. And I think I've got to a point where I just said, you know what? I'm not going to attempt to do this anymore. It's actually gotten to a point where I can't even access the page. When I go to add the account, I can see that Sage House is there. They even changed the name because I was reporting the page and I asked my followers, my friends and family to also report the page. He changed the profile name to Sage, and I think the name is like House A 330000 or something like that. Um, and it just, it really affected me. Not to the point where I was, depressed or upset about it, but it really made me think. And there's really nothing online that can protect us or protect our content. And so I don't know that I'm going to rebuild that page again. I just don't. And with me not thinking about the page and thinking about, posting content to the page where I used to post everything to my personal page for Sage House and my stuff. Um, I just realized that that is an extra thing to do that I no longer have to do anymore. And so I'm really looking at this situation. It sucks. It sucks to have someone steal something from you, especially that you've worked for. It hurts and it's really annoying more than anything. Like, why don't you hack into my bank account and add some extra zeros, or hack into the student loan department and help people, be debt free? Use your hacker skills for good instead of hacking into a small business page with less than 2,000 followers where the page is dedicated to herbs. Anyway, so um so yeah, since that happened, I've just been doing a lot of thinking and contemplating about what am I going to do next? What am I going to do next? I am working on my book. I'm actually on my last chapter of my book. I I found an editor for my book. I don't know when the last time it was that I've been on here, but I found an editor for my book, so I'm really excited about that. Um, and maybe that's something I can start talking about. Writing a book, what does that entail? I don't know. I'm at this fork in the road where normally I would be afraid, I would be scared to death. But now I'm at this fork in the road and I'm just like, what do I want to do next? Like, what do I want? And how do I want this to look? And I realized that I have full autonomy and full control to embody whatever this next version of myself will come out of this. So I've just been allowing myself to sit with it. Been allowing myself to sit with it. So yeah, that's been going on. My page got hacked on Instagram, and they still have photos of me on their page, which is very upsetting. And I've had people report the page, and Instagram said that they see no violation of community guidelines. I don't understand how, like, that's even possible. So yeah, the whole thought process behind that, I mean, I've been told many times that I think too logically, and so I do recognize that. A lot of, at times I just think too logically about things, but so yeah, I'm not sure what the next step will be for me with Sage House, but that's been something that's been going on. Um, Another thing that's been going on that I don't think I've shared. I feel like I have not been on here for a long time. And you know what? I may end up just talking because this is very therapeutic for me. And I feel like, and I can't help but to think that in the sharing and in my sharing, that there's not at least one person that might be feeling the same thing. And perhaps it can be helpful to someone. So, but this has been helpful for me. I feel like I'm able to breathe a little bit deeper now because I've just been this ball of, you know, working and going and keeping Sage House up and content and social media. And I've even gotten to a point now where if I don't want to post on social media, I'm not because I mean, of course, I want to grow my page, which I absolutely do. But I also realize that I'm trying to keep up and I don't want to do that. So I'm happy that I, have some self-awareness on my mindset and my reasons for doing things. And of course, I do like to share. I genuinely do like to share because, again, I think in sharing and not gatekeeping, I think it does help people. And I am definitely not a gatekeeper. Hopefully, this mic is working. It's my new mic. Anyway, so yeah, I've been in this really interesting space of limbo, also spiritually. Like, I haven't, because I have been so busy with work and traveling, I have not been meditating like I used to. Like I used to have designated time to meditate. And now it's almost like I gotta get it in how when I can fit it in. And I don't necessarily like that. For me, I like having a schedule if possible, because being consistent for me is important and having a routine for me is important. But I do like having a routine that allows flexibility within it. So if that makes sense. So yeah, I don't know, maybe more, maybe I'll do more of these videos where I'm just talking, sharing. I don't know. But business ownership is hard and it is not for the faint of heart. It is a 24/7 responsibility. And I am so grateful that I do have a job just over broke. I do appreciate that I have a job where I have, a consistent paycheck that's coming in, but my paycheck is also funding my dream. And I want my dream to fund my life, and it's not there yet. So I don't know. We'll see. But I'm allowing myself to be in this space where I'm sitting with it. I'm allowing myself to be in this space where I'm really just being open to contemplating how things may be. And I'm also very open to knowing that I'm in full control of all of this. So I don't see it as a bad thing. I do see it as there are seasons for everything. And I feel like perhaps my season of Sage House is coming to an end, or maybe it's just going to look differently. And I'm open to that aspect as well. So I'm not sure about that. But yeah, business ownership is for it's it's hard. And so for those entrepreneurs who are doing the damn thing, I commend you for the work that you're doing because it's not easy. And like people say, if it were easy, everybody would be doing it. And it's so true. And everyone can't do it. It's not for everyone, and that's perfectly okay. Oh, excuse me. Um, we have mango turmeric kombucha in our building today, so it's actually very good. So, yeah, YouTube, I'm not sure. And this page hasn't been growing, so I'm just like, what do I do? Like, I would love to grow the page. I would love to be able to get to a point where, this is another stream of income for me, but I also realize that I have to bring value. And so I am looking at some other things. Also, with my book that I'm working on, getting back to me, and with that coming to, well, I'm finalizing the manuscript. I need to get the manuscript to the editor by next week. So if you all have questions about writing a book and what that entails, and I can kind of share my story with you on that, I'm happy to do that. Honestly, I think like the talking thing, I can do this. I can do the talking. But the whole editing thing and the effects and the I don't know if I have that. I need something simple. I used to have a blog or a website, like what was it called? Living simplistically. That was my Tumblr. That was when I was on Tumblr when I was blogging in the day. Living simplistically. And I still really follow that idea and those um like pillars of life can be simple. I don't want complexity. I do not want complex stuff. I don't want to deal with complex people. I don't want to deal with complex situations unless I absolutely have to. I want things to be as simple and easy as possible. Not to say that there will not be challenges, because there will be challenges. That's life. But just recognizing that there are some things that you absolutely don't have to do. And so I'm starting to lean in on those choices of making things simple. And yeah, so I'm in this space right now, this very interesting space, which is when you feel in life when you are making no progress, like you feel like you're at a standstill, that's how I feel. But I also know because I've been in these I've been in these phases, or I've been in this space several times. I also realize that when we feel like we're stagnant and we feel like progress isn't happening, it absolutely is. It's just very small steps, small actions that we're taking that we may not recognize or see, or even those small choices that we make, or those small decisions that we make. Progress is still happening. When you feel stagnant, it's not, I mean, sometimes you can be stuck, and that can be from your mindset, that can be from your limiting beliefs. But when you're really like putting forth the energy and you are following through with action and you're in a space of stagnancy, there is progress being made. But I firmly believe that in those times that we are just required to sit still and be in silence. And we need to listen to what spirit, source, God, divine, whoever you want to call your God. Um, in those times, that's when we need to listen and really be guided on our next steps. So, yeah, there's been a lot going. I've been going through. Not, I haven't been going through. I've been growing through. That's something that I've been changing. Making sure that I'm being mindful of the words that I use, because our words are so powerful, and they carry so much energy behind it and a frequency behind it. And so I am very, very mindful of making sure that I'm using the correct words, or reframing how I speak, so that I'm speaking life into a situation, or I'm edifying myself or a situation, and not killing it with my words. Another thing that I did this month, was it this month or last month? But I don't think I shared it on here, is many of you may know, and I do talk about this in my book, but many of you may or may not know that I do work with plant medicine in terms of my spiritual work. And plant medicine has been huge for me, in terms of my healing, in terms of working through the many layers of my shit, because we all have it. Excuse my language. Um, but plant medicine has been a really beautiful way, an intentional way of me working through the baggage that I have. Where in most cases, it may take years to work through it, or it just wouldn't get worked on. It would just continue to pile up under the rug that I sweep it under. But plant medicine has been a really great way for me to heal and to be present with the gift of forgiveness, and understanding how powerful forgiveness is, and coming to the understanding that forgiveness is not for the other person, but it's for you. It's for us, in fact. Forgiveness allows us to move forward, and it allows us to uproot ourselves from the past, because forgiveness, when we do not forgive and we hold grudges, it keeps us really rooted in the past. So it prevents us from really moving forward in our lives. So I say all that to say that I did a Bufo ceremony a couple weeks ago. Maybe it was last month. I think it was in March, but I don't think I shared with you all. And that was huge for me. That shifted a lot. And I do feel like I'm still integrating a lot of the work that I did in that evening. I went with two other friends. One friend we did a Bufu ceremony together. It was, it was intense for her. But this was the first time that working with Bufo was so intense for me. And for those of you that don't know what Bufo is, it is a venom that a specific toad secretes, and the toad is like Bufo aureus, Bufo narius. I don't know. It's whatever the Latin name is, that's the name of the toad. But this specific toad um, secretes this venom that when you smoke it, it the experience, I wish I could explain. I wish I had the words to explain, but I just do not have the vocabulary to be able to share that beautiful experience. The way that I can describe it, and this is what was shared with me on my first day, the first ceremony that I participated in. I went by myself, and one of the assistants, she was helping the shaman, the medicine man that I was working with, and he's here in Chicago. He does not want me to share his information, so I said that I would honor that. But I am hoping to work with him because it's such a beautiful, beautiful experience. And it's not technically plant medicine, but it does fall under that category. So, um, the way that she described it to me is think about your computer going offline, like when you need to reset your computer and you boot everything down. So all the apps close out, everything shuts down, it is offline. That's essentially what happens with Bufo. Once you smoke it, you immediately are offline. And she explained this experience to me where initially I was a little afraid, and I've also gotten to a point where I'm just like, I'm not gonna let myself be afraid, because fear is something that we create for ourselves. Um, but she told me, she's like, it's like it's almost like a death essentially. And that first experience, I did have a death. I had an ego death. But after that first experience, I no longer had a fear of death. And maybe fear isn't the best word, but I no longer had this sense of, I don't know what to expect with death, or death is scary, or death is going to be painful. The experience was so beautiful. I'm like, you know what? If I die tomorrow, I will be okay. Of course, no, I don't want that for my kids, but um, the experience is beautiful when, the transitioning. But Bufo, it brings you in to a deeper space where you are connected with the all that is. And it felt like I was returning home. I honestly don't have any other way to explain it, but I truly felt like I was returning home. There was this sense of remembrance. There was this sense of beauty and love and oneness and just expansion. I don't know how else to explain it, but my first experience was so beautiful. I mean, I still have, visions of it, but there's no other plant medicine that I've worked with that has created that experience for me and that opportunity to go so deep in such a quick way. Working with magic mushrooms, I remember when my spiritual group, when we would do our journeys, we would be working spiritually night, all night, till 5 a.m., 6 a.m. But with Bufo, you are in maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And then when you come out of it, you are back online. You can drive home. You can go and get some food. Like it's almost like, oh, you are back to normal. And so Bufo is a medicine that I'm going to continue to work with, and I'm going to continue to explore. But I am still integrating from that session because that ceremony was, I went very, very, very deep. And I didn't realize that I had so much to release and to let go of. And if you would like for me to share my experiences with Bufo in a more detailed fashion, I'm happy to do that. Um, if you all have any questions about what does it mean when you go deep, or what does it mean, feel free to ask and I'll do my best to answer the questions. But it is an experience that I have never experienced before. It is a beautiful experience. I knew that I was safe. I think a lot of times when we are faced with the unknown, like, I don't know what this is going to do, I don't know what's going to be on the other side of that door, there is a sense of fear of the unknown. And I've learned to embrace the unknown with more excitement and less fear, with more peace and less fear, with more love and less fear. So, but yeah, so that's kind of, I think I'm going to end the video here, but that's what's been going on with me. There has been, you know, I'm in this space of limbo a little bit, and I'm okay with it. I think normally or historically, I would be like, I gotta move forward. I need to shake some things up or kind of force my way to make some things happen or to force my way to open up that door. And now it's just like, okay, well, when it's time, I will feel it, I will know it. I've also been leaning more into my intuition so that I'm guided to do the things that I'm led to do. Like if it feels right, I'm going to do it. If it doesn't feel right, I'm not going to do it. So, but yeah, this is more of a talking video. This is also just to give you all a heads up. I'm still alive for those of you who are curious or who are wondering where I've been. She is here. She has just been busy. I have been more busy than I would like. And so I'm going to have to really shift some things and transition the way that I've been working. Because again, I want my work to be meaningful. I want it to be intentional. And I don't want it to be forced or I'm doing this because I'm trying to keep up with society, or I'm trying to do this because everyone posts to their page every day, or I'm trying to do this because I see some really successful entrepreneurs, and who knows, maybe entrepreneurship is just not my jam for Sage House, but maybe it's my jam in other areas. Who knows? We'll see what happens with the book. I'm really excited about the book. Um, that has taken me several years. I want to say almost 2 decades. Gosh, yeah, it's been almost 2 decades. 2 decades since I've been working on the book because I started on it after my first divorce, and then I lost it all after I think I wrote 5 or 6 chapters, and then I picked it up again after being devastated for a couple weeks. I picked it up again, um, maybe like after half a year, and then I lost it again because my laptop was shit, and it crashed, it died, and so I had to get another laptop. And then I did not write again until recently, like 4 or 5 years ago. So, but who knows what will come out of the book? I do also envision the book doing workshops with the book for those who get the book and who want to do some work in person. I do envision that type of stuff happening. So we'll see what comes out of it. We will see. But this has been very cathartic for me. The just getting all of this stuff off and not just feel like I feel I feel so much lighter. But who knows, maybe these videos will be more that I put out there. But if any of you all are going through what I'm going through or feeling growing through, if any of you are feeling some of the things that I've been sharing and just like, oh, I don't feel like I fit in anymore, that's another thing too. Maybe this video isn't about to end now. But I also feel, and I said this in my podcast, for those of you who are following Two Queens and Crystal Things, I think I said this at the beginning of 2024, where I was saying that the veil is starting to be lifted so that we are starting to see what is really happening in the world. So we can really see people that we tend to look up to, Hollywood people, so that we can really see people for who they are, institutions, entities, all of those things that our world has been putting on the shelf or like creating this like higher echelon. Think about luxury brands, with the tariffs. I'm not going to say the president's name, but with the tariffs that are happening, China's now been exposing these luxury brands for who they are and for price gouging and marking their prices up on these bags that cost $500, $600, but selling them for $12,000, $38,000. So that's another thing too. All of like everything, the blinders are coming off. And that's another thing that is like all of these things are happening energetically in the world. That's just like, where do I go with all of this? Because it's a lot to take in. And if you are an empath, it can be a lot. And I um I feel it all. So if you all are feeling some of the stuff that I've been feeling, if you all have been just, if you feel like you have a business or a dream that you really want to explore, do it. Do it because you never want to have to look back and say, you know what if I did it? But if you're going to do it with all of yourself and don't half-ass it because who wants a half-ass? Use both cheeks. If you feel like you're in this place where spiritually you're just like, something's going on, I can't explain it, there's this energy that I'm feeling, I feel you. And feel free to reach out to me for Reiki. I do online too. Or if you're feeling in this space where it's like, I just want to slow down a little bit, do it. I block off my calendar, my personal calendar in a minute. Tomorrow I blocked off do nothing day. Do nothing. And I'm doing more of those weeks out. Like if I'm like, okay, next weekend, I'm doing nothing. So, but just know that you are seen and you are heard, and you are not the only one that may be feeling some of what you're going through. Again, I have no idea what this channel is going to become. I have no idea what things will look like, but I'm here for the ride and I'm here to continue my path with meaningful work and being intentional with what I'm doing. And I no longer want to do stuff just to fit in. And I no longer want to do things because I want the accolades. Yeah, there's so much I can talk about. There's like another, and you all let me know. I'm going to share this with you real quickly, but let me know if you would like for me to share more about this. But I decided to manifest, I just wanted to manifest anything and everything that I wanted. And I wanted to know if I were able to have these things, if it would change my life for the better, if it would make me better, if it would make people like me more. And so I manifested, like this is after my second divorce. I manifested, and we can talk about this too, my divorces. It's all of this is in the book. Although the manifesting piece is not, maybe I need to write about that. But I manifested, like after my second divorce, I manifested, you know what? I want to move. I want to move downtown and I want to have an apartment with a view of the water because I love the water. It is so healing. And so I manifested my apartment in the Gold Coast. As soon as you walk in, the windows, nothing but water. Oh, I miss that view. And then I was like, oh, I want to manifest a car. So I manifested my car. I call it my manifested baby. Um, I'm not going to share the type of car. If you all want to know, feel free to ask in the chat. But got the car. I remember I wanted some Louis bags. So I got some Louis bags, manifested that. And again, I did, it was an experiment. I wanted to know if it would change me in any way. I wanted to know if my world would be different, if I would have a better quality of life, if people would like me more, if I would be accepted, if I would be revered as this, oh, look at what she has. And after I got it, it's just stuff. That's one of the things that I learned. My dog chewed on both of my bags, which taught me it's just stuff. It really is. Um, but now that the luxury brands are coming out and kind of pulling the curtains back and letting you know that these brands are not who they say they are, it's quite interesting. So I think I'm going to end it here. But if you all have any questions, if you all want to connect with me, feel free to reach out. I'm available. When I tell you I have grown through some things, I have grown through some things. And once my book is released, one of the ideas that I want to do is to read the book online, have it here available online, and maybe talk more about it in depth, like go through each chapter, talk about what I was going through, provide a little bit more details to things that I might not have shared in the book. Um, so that's an idea that I have that may be coming. We'll see. But once the book releases, I'll probably talk a little bit more about what I've grown through, how I've overcome things, how I've healed, what I've done to forgive, because that has been the biggest component in terms of being able to move forward with my life. Because I think when I share my story with people, and when you see me looking up, I'm looking out the window. I live in a high rise and I'm looking out. And sometimes I also have to like look away so I can think. I don't know if any of you are like that, but I am. Anyway, so yeah, once the book is released, I'll share a little bit more, and I'm excited. I'm excited about this book. And again, maybe this is the path that I'm supposed to be going on, and maybe it's not the apothecary path. I still love herbs. I still love my plants and trees, and my fiance calls me a tree hugger, which I gladly accept because I've been called other things. But so be encouraged. That's the message I would like to leave. And someone is walking in, so I'm going to end it here.